Watch this video, then we'll talk.
If you're a parent, do not scroll past this. Literally fucking do not. If you do, you're an idiot. This right here is a filter. It's in the trending section of the filters. And when you click on it, it shows explicit corn. Yeah, it does. Explicit corn. And there are multiple ones of this same filter, multiple ones in the trending section of the filters. And they all show different explicit corn that plays on a loop and it's silent. So if you are that kind of parent who's just like, here, and gives it to your kid because they're whining for it, they're going to find it. Because this was only like 2 scrolls down. And this was not the first one I've seen. This was the third one I've seen. Just scrolling 1, 2, and that was the third one. So there are multiple, hundreds of these, and they all show explicit corn. And I am pleading with you as a parent. My kids are not allowed to be on this app because I know how toxic it is. But I know some of you don't see the harm in it. But I am pleading with you to reconsider. This app is not good, and you need to keep your children far away from it.
So do you guys remember when I made this video? Yes, I'm wearing the exact same shirt. I'm batch recording content today. Remember when I made this video when I pointed out the 2 icons that were in the corner of this video? So what these icons do, and I'm not going to show it on here, but what it does is basically for the filter, it takes like 3 seconds and then the screen goes black and then it's like a new image comes forward. Now, I guess depending on where you're located, it kind of takes like ideas or whatever from your surroundings, but it takes those things and then an AI generates a scantily clad white lady. Now, in the ones that I tested out, they were wearing bikinis, but there was a lot to the human form that was shown in these. What this lady was talking, not this lady as in me. Now, what the other lady was talking about, she was talking about full-blown corn. Now, I don't know if the TikTok admin team saw those videos and others like it because other moms, more specific, I had not seen a dad come out and talk about this online. I only saw moms. That's another thing to consider. Why aren't dads paying attention? But also, anyway, just to stay on track, I saw about like 3 or 4 moms pop up on my FYP talking about this. And the way that this app started off as a kids app, I understand that TikTok can really, it's become like very much a space where adults, young and old, can make a living, can share products and do all that stuff. It started off as a kids app and there are millions of children on this app. Why is there corn? Hardcore corn. Why is there corn, period, on here? Like, listen, I understand SW's got a market in ways, but like, that's what Twitter's for. Twitter was never designed to be a for kids app. Twitter, like, I remember when I was a kid and I was on Twitter, and that was when social media was the Wild West. There were no rules, but also a lot of us were just kids tee-heeing our way. And then the predators started figuring out how to navigate these spaces. And then the predators started making filters. And it's still the Wild, Wild West. I do not envy parents. I do not envy parents right now. The level of supervision, the level of it's not vigilance, there we go, that parents have to have just to make sure that their kid is safe within their own home I feel for you guys. If you have not already, personally, listen, I am joyfully child-free. I consider myself an auntie, a big cousin to so many young adults and kids globally, right? If you have not already, have the conversation with your child. Go through their phone, especially if they are young, arguably throughout. If they are living under your roof in a way that is not like controlling, in a way where you're not trying to hurt them, in a way that you're not trying to have like a gotcha moment, please have open and honest conversations about what is happening and why it is detrimental to their development. The way that so many parents the way that so many parents had kids, are having kids, without realizing that there is so much, now more than ever, that goes into active parenting. In one of these little devices, click, 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 one of these little devices, they have a world of evil on the other end, unlimited. And that evil is seeking them out. Seeking them out. There are evil people that are seeking them out, and they are making apps, and they are trying to it's not even about, yes, they're trying to pollute their still developing minds, to develop porn addictions, to dehumanize women and female presenting bodies. They are trying to create the next generation of problems. Because if you got a crippling porn addiction, if you don't see women as people, if you just want to use female presenting bodies as wholes, it is so much easier for you to become a cog in the capitalist machine, because humanity is now separated from you. You do not see other people as people, you see them as things to be used. And this might be a controversial take. I don't care. You're allowed to disagree with me in the comment section, especially if you have kids. But guess what? I'm not the one raising your kids. I'm just the one that has to deal with them after the fact. If your child has a phone, you should be having the sex talk with them. If your child has access to the internet, period, you should be having a conversation about bodies, about intimacy, about consent, about schmecks with them. Yes, sometimes kids have access to their phones when they're like 3, 4, 5. You should be having you should be having appropriate conversations with them about these things, because I don't care how many protections you have on YouTube Kids. An ad is gonna pop up. They might open up a different app. The way that so many kids, they can navigate an iPad better than their parents. You don't think that they've seen something, that they will see something that they got questions about? And then they're gonna go seeking out the answers, whether it's their baby brain creating scenarios, or what on earth is a 4-year-old supposed to do with hardcore porn? What is their brain supposed to do with that? The amount of protections and the amount of conversations that need to be had, even if part, not in total, part of that conversation is, if you see something that makes you feel uncomfortable, you need to feel comfortable coming to me about that. The amount of kids that are terrified of coming to their parents for something that they feel shameful about, whether it's something that has happened to them, something that they have seen, something that their friends have told them about, something that has happened to their friends, that kind of open, honest, vulnerable conversation needs to be established in the home, and it needs to be established early. Why? Because in every corner of this internet that we are using to have this conversation, there are people out there, there are entities out there that make billions of dollars off of your kids, off of subjugating your kids, off of selling children, selling them for parts. Globally, they benefit. So what are you going to do about it? This is no heat. This is no judgment. I am child free, but I know that there are a lot of, especially single moms, that are on this platform. I've seen a couple of other parents pop in every now and then, but I'm really talking to the parents right now. Once again, no heat, no judgment. Objectively speaking, especially if you're the mom, if you're the one that gave birth to them, your kids were born into a lion's den and everybody's hungry. That's just how it is. That's just actually how it is. So the least that you could do is inform your child about what a lion is, who you are to a lion, how to best protect yourself from a lion. If you see a lion looking at you, find me. How can you tell if a lion is looking at you? What to do next? How to protect yourself, how to protect your friends, how to have these kinds of conversations. Have you been bitten by a lion? Have you been attacked by, do you know what the procedure is? Have those conversations, because if you don't, somebody else will, and they'll give them incorrect information. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, my child was eaten. Oh my gosh, my child was maimed. Oh my gosh, my child is now on CNN along with however many other kids are missing to the system. Yeah. Even something as what people would think, oh, it's just a TikTok filter. It is one of a million pieces that is out here slithering its way, lurking in the tall grass, trying to get your kids. Listen, I'm not a parent. It's not my responsibility. I just want to have this conversation because I love children. So please have that conversation. Stay safe out there.